Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tirra-Omilade. I love helping women align with their life purpose using ancient wisdom so that they confidently and courageously live the amazing lives they know they deserve. For me, it's all about living a goddess-centered lifestyle. And part of a goddess-centered lifestyle is realizing that we get on our rituals and our routines. We get on our daily spiritual grind. And to me, that's a good thing. Day after day after day. One of the things that I've been emphasizing with the ladies in my inner circle is that part of the human experience is the ability to fall into forgetfulness pretty easily and quickly. And so and the other part is too, and this isn't me talking about the goddess Yemoja and what she represents within us and within the world. This is the goddess that has to do with motherhood, but she rules other faculties. Okay, we don't make these energies one-dimensional, do we, sisters? And so the other thing that Yemaja rules and governs, it has to do with our subconscious and how we can pick up things and make habits, how we habitually do things, how we habitually live life. And so what we have to do is we have to go out of our way to either keep ourselves conscious and aware of what the direction that we want to go in is. And we have to go out of our way to get out of what I call ruts, where it's just this rote routine. You know, one of the things that Yemaja is known for is going over and over and over a thing. She governs the memory. And so how do we learn a lot of times? It's through rote memorization. This is part of her faculty. And so what ends up happening is we just get ourselves in a rut. We are just going and going and going and going and going. And so part of what we can do, first and foremost, the goddess-centered lifestyle is simple. It does not have to be complex. It doesn't have to have a whole bunch of complex rules. You know, it really doesn't have to be that way. You just want to make sure that you're incorporating rituals and routines that feel good to you, that you know you will do on a regular basis, that you can commit to actually doing these rituals and routines and that actually work. I once heard someone say motion with no movement. See, we're not doing that. Sometimes we'll do it. It's okay. Like, it's no judgment. However, we do want our routines to produce. I know this is true. I've done both motion with no movement and motion with movement. And it's called testing. This is what the goddess Ma'at helps to instill in us, the ability to test a thing. So one of the things that I think is so important is speaking positive words into our lives. We dog ourselves out, we bash ourselves, and so we can make a choice, which actually I have some wisdom to share with you. Here's one. Choice. We live by choice. This is from one of my oracles. We can make the choice to say, you know what, okay, if I'm going to be dogging myself out, I'm going to say positive things too. Maybe we'll just end up in a neutral spot. Because if we just go negative, then, it's a slippery slope. It's going to be a quick down spot into that's just a habit that we set up. And of course, I would like to believe we could think positive thoughts about ourselves all the time, but there are times when it's like, you know what, I really need to be realistic with myself. I'm not being a good human right now. I'm not, doing what I know aligns with my values. I need to really fess up to that. So, we want to make sure that we have a healthy dose of both. Healthy being the main word. And so I love affirmations, and I love saying the affirmations, even if I don't feel that energy. So for instance, right now, maybe I don't feel like I'm thriving. That's an affirmation. However, what I can do is I can allow myself to be open to that possibility. I can look and think, maybe I take this time to ponder and journal. Maybe I am thriving in some ways. I mean, like, is my whole life not thriving? And maybe I didn't even think about that. I pull the card, it says, I am thriving. And it's like, I didn't even think about whether or not I'm thriving or not. Let me give myself a moment to consider and ponder how I am thriving. And once we begin to open up this wellspring of affirming, oh, I see how I'm thriving. I'm thriving in fill in the blank. Once we begin to open this wellspring of good feeling, then we allow ourselves the opportunity to open it up more and more and more. See, the main thing that we want to do is to make sure we are not just staying stuck in the stumble, but we also want to make sure that, what we are not experiencing, we can bring to the conscious awareness and say, okay, let me see what kind of choices I can make. So many people are afraid of using oracle decks. But I love oracle decks because they make me think outside of my box. And this is an affirmation deck. It's not necessarily an oracle deck. But anywho, I am triumphant. What are you triumphant at? What are you triumphant at, goddess? I would love to hear from you. You can put it in the comment section and let all of us celebrate with you. I am triumphant. It's so easy to beat ourselves up, beat ourselves down. It's like, oh, I haven't done this right, or I haven't done that right. Oh my gosh, I've been there recently where it's just beat myself up. And there's a part of me that honestly believes that, it's just so many messages that come. And, I love the book, The Four Agreements. At the beginning of the book, he talks about, I don't know if he uses this word, but the taming of humans. And we just, some kind of way, get tamed to berate ourselves, to put ourselves down, And so this is how I, as someone who strives to live aligned with a goddess-centered lifestyle, a lifestyle that's based on my own natural rhythms, that's based on my own wisdom. And see, this is what the goddess lifestyle is for all of us. You live according to your rhythms. And yeah, sometimes we might have to get a reading. People come to me for readings on a regular basis. Sometimes it's hard to see the whole picture. We all have a blind spot. But oftentimes when I do readings for people, they have merely received a confirmation that they were actually on the right path, that they are doing, they're living in alignment with their blueprint and their destiny. And to get that confirmation gives them the courage and the confidence to continue following their inner guidance and understanding the cycles. And then there's other larger cycles. There's this technique that I learned from one of my astrology teachers that is based on your age. And if you don't know astrology, you may not know this. And you might be in an age where you feel like you're ready to take on the world, or your mind says you're ready to take on the world, but it's more of an introverted time. And sometimes it helps to get a reading to hear those kinds of things so that you can align yourself with the energy of your life. Yes, it's great to get these kinds of readings. However, for me, the goddess-centered lifestyle is hugely about honoring what is it that's in me. And this is how, even though maybe, 5 of us were born on my birthday in the same city, we will all sort of be different because we just have our own cycles, our own inner workings, our own biochemistry, right? That if we honor it, then life will feel more balanced, will feel more harmony. We'll naturally have an idea of, even if I can't think of the exact remedy, I might be guided to the person who will give me that remedy. I can't tell you how many times it feels like I'm sitting here and thinking about, man, if I could just figure out fill in the blank. I just let it go and just move on to something else because I couldn't figure it out. And then and I didn't say it out loud. And then I look online, and one thing leads to another, and I find exactly the answer I was looking for. Someone is like, "Oh, have you ever heard of this?" And I'm like, "How did they know?" That's what the goddess centered lifestyle is. I do believe the goddess centered lifestyle also involves being a part of a community, being a part of other women in particular, and supporting one another. This is one of the reasons I'm just so crazy about um, Women's International Women's Day and Women's History Month. I just know the power of women coming together and supporting each other. So, it's different components, but definitely we have to go out of our way to make sure that this way of living, um, first of all, can happen and happen so that things are working in our favor. So I hope that this has been beneficial to you, dear sister. And let me know, did anything stand out for you? I would love to hear it in the comments. And thank you so much for being a part of the Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. And this is Tirra-Omilade. Please, if you feel so moved, give me a thumbs up or a heart if you're on Instagram. And yeah, I would love to stay connected to you, hear from you, all that kind of good stuff. So take care. See you soon. Peace.